The story of Joseph, son of Jacob. In the land of Canaan, there was a man called Jacob. Jacob had 2 wives, Rachel and Leah. Rachel was Jacob's favorite wife, but she was unable to bear children. So Leah, his other wife, took it upon herself to bear children for Jacob. Leah had 6 sons for Jacob. But later, God opened up Rachel's womb and she also bore children. She gave birth to a son, and Jacob named him Joseph, which means he will add. Joseph said Jacob, because God has added my days and completed my family. Now Joseph was a young man when his father, Jacob, and his 12 sons came to Egypt as sojourners, because there was famine in Canaan. Now, Joseph was handsome and good-looking, and his skin was white, smooth and beautiful. And as he grew older, his father Jacob loved him more than all his other sons. This made his brothers jealous. One day, Jacob made Joseph a beautiful coat of many colors. When his brothers saw him wearing that coat, they hated him even more. They thought, this guy is our half-brother, and yet our father loves him more than us. Our father even made him this expensive coat. Then they went out into the field and made a plan to kill Joseph. When they came back from the field, Joseph was there. They took off their coats and stained them with blood from an animal they slaughtered. Then they went to Jacob and said, look at this blood. Look at this coat. We found this coat by an Enon-Kishon river. And look, these people have taken our brother away. We don't know what they did to him. Probably they killed him. Jacob believed them and tore his clothes. He grieved over Joseph, thinking his son was dead. Meanwhile, Joseph's brothers threw his coat away in a well where goats were kept. Then they went back to tell Jacob that they had found Joseph's body. But when Jacob's sons went down into the well to get the body, they didn't find him. There was an angel of God there, and the angel spoke to them and said, why are you doing this? Why did you kill an innocent person like Joseph? Then they knew that they had made a big mistake. They came back up out of the well and went to tell Jacob that Joseph was missing again. They told him the second time that they had seen those people with Joseph, but they lied and said they couldn't find any trace of him. Again, Jacob believed them and fell down on his knees, weeping and wailing. But Joseph was not dead. His brothers threw him into a pit, but when some merchants passed by, they pulled him out and took him away from there. They sold Joseph to a man who was traveling to Egypt. The man bought Joseph and took him to Egypt and sold him to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. So Joseph ended up serving in the prison of Potiphar. Potiphar's wife kept coming on to Joseph, but he refused to sleep with her. One day when Joseph refused her advances, she became very angry and accused him of trying to rape her. Joseph's master Potiphar threw him into jail. But while Joseph was in prison, God was with him, and he became a favorite of the prison warden. So when the king of Egypt needed someone to interpret his dreams, the prison warden recommended Joseph, saying, there is no one else who can interpret dreams except Joseph the Hebrew slave. So Pharaoh called Joseph and told him about his dream. Pharaoh said, I had 2 dreams last night, and no one in my kingdom can explain them to me. But you say, can you explain them? Joseph said, you can't understand these dreams. No one else can explain them to you, but God can do it. Tell me your dreams again. Then Pharaoh repeated his dreams to Joseph. Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream, saying that there would be 7 years of great plenty, followed by 7 years of terrible famine. And he advised Pharaoh to store grain during the 7 years of plenty, so they could use it during the famine. Pharaoh liked Joseph's advice, and he made him ruler over all of Egypt. He also married Joseph to one of Pharaoh's daughters. After some time, God made Rachel, Joseph's mother, pregnant again, and she gave birth to a son and a daughter. When Joseph heard that he had a brother and a sister, he was very happy. Joseph sent word to his father, Jacob, inviting him to come to Egypt with all his family. When Jacob and his family arrived in Egypt, Pharaoh greeted them warmly and asked them how they were related to Joseph. Jacob told Pharaoh that Joseph was his son. Then Pharaoh welcomed them and said, your son Joseph told me that you are his father. I welcome you and your whole family to stay in Egypt. Pharaoh gave orders to build houses for Jacob and his sons, and to give them food and clothing. Pharaoh also gave them silver and gold. He also said, here is silver for your families and for your children. Here are gifts for you to take back to your homeland. Jacob and his sons bowed down before Pharaoh. Then Jacob blessed Pharaoh and left. And that's the end of the story. To watch the full video in sign language, click on the link below. Also, don't forget to subscribe so that you can be notified whenever we upload a new video. God bless you.